Hello everybody, we're going to write a quick program to hopefully display how to get around some of the problems of finality in Java. So let's say, for example, we want to sum a couple of numbers, and we're going to have this rather simple program that says launch a habanero app and then take two local variables approach will not even compile. So that's kind of ominous right there, and then we're going to print out the sum of what it returns. So you can imagine trying to say, look, let's have something called the lower sum and set that to 0 and make another local variable called the upper sum and set that to 0. Make this lower sum. And then I can return lower sum plus upper sum. And that's all fine and dandy and return 0. And I can run this and you can see it's returning 0. If I try to do this as a parallel program, I can do a finish and I'll create one task to assign, say, the lower sum. And in this case, you can imagine going through an array and adding things up, but let's just set the lower sum to 10, and in the continuation we'll set the lower sum to 11, upper sum to 10, and we're all happy because we have blackjack. But you can see it's not even compiling, never mind allowing you to never mind working. Now, the problem with this is that Java is inferring finality here on these two values. It's in order to allow you to access it within an inner class or a lambda, it won't do that. It'll let you read it. So for example, let me just do sys out. You're allowed to read lower sum, right? If I don't do this, right, it's perfectly happy to let me, print that out. I can read it all I want within a class, but I'm not allowed to reassign it, and I'm not allowed to, once it's final, right, I'm not allowed to do it out here either, right? And again, it's having to do with reasons because of the call stack, which we'll discuss in class and everything like that. It just won't even it won't even let that work. So let's not. So that approach is dead. Let's comment that out. And let's write this rather wonderfully thing like array of length 2 approach for the win. So instead of creating two local variables, right, I've typed int, let's make an integer array and call it subsums. Okay, and we'll get 2 slots for it. And when we're done, we'll just return subsums 0 plus subsums sub 1. And we're going to have each task write to its own slot. And instead of calling this guy, we'll call this array of length 2 approach. You can see we start off at 0. But now when I type finish body, I can create a new task. Right? Now when I set subsums sub 0 to be 11, and subsums sub 1 equal to 10, it'll work. Right? And when I run it, it'll print 21, everyone's happy. I can't say subsums equals a new integer array. Okay, and this is why that won't work. So I can't reassign to subsums itself, right? Because it's final just like these were final, right? But I'm allowed to talk to I'm allowed to write each item in the array.